This is Mark Bell from supertraining.tv, Super Training Gym, the strongest gym in the West. We got some dynamic effort bench here for you today. We got about 100 pounds of chains or so on there, maybe a little bit more. Chains are light at the bottom, heavier at the top. That's my boy Jesse Burdick doing a triple right there. Normally on dynamic effort day, we do about 8 to 10 sets of 3 reps. We kind of go by feel on how many sets we hit. There's Casey, a.k.a. Daddy Longlegs, a.k.a. Everlast. And there's my chubby little self going. That's a good example of what dynamic effort should look like. You can see putting a lot of violence and a lot of hatred into the barbell. The main intent of the day on dynamic effort day is to be fast, to be explosive, and to have good form. So you're working on a bunch of different things. If your form breaks down, you're going too heavy. If your form breaks down in the last couple sets, not a huge deal, not a huge problem. But if your form is screwed up throughout the whole training session, then you got a lot of problems on your hands. The dynamic effort day, in some cases, can almost act as just an extra day to work on your lift, to perfect your lift. You don't always have to go so crazy on it with bands and chains and stuff. Although that can be fun, it can also be detrimental. So make sure that you're kind of following some of the percentages and some of the recommendations by Westside Barbell. I do think that the percentages are kind of screwed up, some of the recommendations for dynamic effort bench. And I think that's where some of the issues come in. And I think one of the problems with it is just a squat is so much different than a bench press in many different ways. The fact that you're actually kind of squatting your own body weight when you do a squat versus doing a bench press, you're only kind of moving your arms around. I think that affects it a little bit. I know some of you might think I'm a little bit weird in saying that, but if you think about it, it's the truth. Also, the other thing that skews everything up a little bit is the fact that on dynamic effort work, the typical West Sider or someone following a West Side program is going to use briefs. They're going to use powerlifting gear on a day that they do their dynamic effort squats. And they're not going to wear any gear when they do their dynamic effort bench, which I am trying to change because I usually wear a slingshot when I do my dynamic effort work. This week I didn't use it, but I'd say about every other week I get into the slanger. I can handle more weight for more reps and more sets, handle more total volume. Not necessarily more reps, but just more overall volume. And that is it from supertraining.tv. I'm out.